Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to all. In the moments preceding the procedure, she found herself in a position requiring absolute stillness. However, as the procedure commenced, an unexpected occurrence shook the table, causing a disorienting sensation. The disconcerting vibrations left her momentarily bewildered, raising concerns of potential unconsciousness. What struck her most was the apparent disregard from those attending to her needs. Regrettably, the technician responsible for controlling the table inadvertently pressed an incorrect button, oblivious to the unintended consequences. The intensifying unease fueled a rapid escalation in her breathing pattern, morphing into an uncontrollable state of hyperventilation. Reacting to this, the X-ray technician leaned closer, noticing the telltale signs of her distress, her eyes rolling backward and her breaths becoming erratic. In a crucial moment, her vision began to fade, capturing the image of the technician leaning back, seemingly puzzled by the unintended activation of the button that initiated the chaotic sequence of events. Barbara Barol, hailing originally from the serene landscapes of West Salem, Oregon, was no stranger to the wonders of a childhood amidst nature's canvas. Growing up alongside 4 siblings, she found her truest joy in the boundless exploration of the outdoors, pedaling through scenic trails with her younger sister, reveling in the liberating embrace of freedom. Post her formative years, she charted her course to City College, where the cadence of life orchestrated its own symphony. Grappling with various jobs, she meticulously weaved the strands of independence and secured a place to call her own, a sanctuary amidst the ebb and flow of life's tide. The trajectory of her journey altered significantly when the horizon of Santa Barbara beckoned her. It was here that her footsteps intertwined fatefully with someone whose inner turmoil brewed a tempestuous relationship. The shadows of an abusive marriage shrouded her days, despite earnest endeavors to navigate through the labyrinth with the aid of professional guidance. A pivotal moment etched its mark when a perilous turn orchestrated by her husband inflicted upon her a grave back injury, rendering her immobilized by excruciating pain. In the quest for healing, she sought refuge in the skillful hands of a neurosurgeon, clutching onto the glimmer of hope for a resurgence. At the tender age of 31, with the responsibilities of nurturing an 8-year-old son and a 5-month-old daughter, Barbara embarked upon the pursuit of reclaiming her autonomy. A slated surgery loomed in December 1987, intertwined with the apprehension veiled behind the prospects of a myelogram, a diagnostic venture to fathom the depth of spinal impairment. The ambience within the surgical theatre unveiled an unsettling tableau, the eerie symphony of the table's mechanical motion, the infusion of dye into her spinal cord, and the numbing embrace encircling her neck, all bereft of additional anesthetic comfort. Amidst this disquiet, she found herself adrift in a sea of perplexity, wondering if the looming faintness would claim her consciousness. Lying supine, a sense of detachment enveloped her as the medical chorus orchestrated the procedure in an almost nonchalant cadence. The surreal narrative took an unexpected turn as a technician inadvertently triggered a cataclysmic event by a mistaken button press. In her moment of distress, the frantic symphony below paused, the technicians jolted into action, and the nurse urgently summoned aid. In the crescendo of this disarray, she transcended the confines of corporeal existence, witnessing the fervent endeavors to resuscitate her, even as her ethereal form hovered above the unfolding drama. It was in this transcendent realm that a celestial serenity embraced her, suffusing her spirit with an ineffable euphoria, an embrace of unfathomable love and unspoken understanding. From this vantage point beyond mortal coils, she engaged in a poignant communion with a divine presence, a palpable entity exuding an aura of familiarity and boundless compassion. In the embrace of this ethereal guide, she was cradled in a sanctuary of acceptance and solace, a transformative encounter that eclipsed the boundaries of her terrestrial existence. In the ethereal expanse she inhabited, a scene of pandemonium unfurled beneath her. Physicians barked commands, nurses engaged in frantic calls for supplies, and X-ray technicians fervently executed life-saving procedures. Her voice carried resolve as she communicated with a celestial entity, driven by the imminent danger her spouse posed to their offspring. Witnessing the torment inflicted upon her elder son, the thought of her infant daughter enduring a similar fate was unbearable. Amidst her observation, a man placed a box on an X-ray table ledge, affixing white circles upon her chest. Her link with the celestial realm momentarily faltered as she questioned his actions. Abruptly, she found herself displaced from the ceiling to an immediate proximity to the box. From this fresh standpoint, she scrutinized the man's interaction with the box, manipulating a switch that illuminated a faint light on a display. Following the light's trajectory across the screen, she comprehended its purpose, a heart monitor depicting her own flatline. This revelation transported her back to the celestial realm beside the entity, realizing that her inquiry had led her back seeking resolution. Below, the neurosurgeon, in conjunction with the orthopedic surgeon, expressed apprehension regarding the elapsed time, fearing potential cerebral impairment. Acting on the orthopedic surgeon's orders, the assembly parted. 2 technicians withdrew, unveiling the orthopedic surgeon concealing a clenched fist behind his back. Uplifting his fist aloft, he administered a vigorous blow to her chest, prompting her body to recoil upon impact, yet she remained suspended above. The celestial being offered solace, probing deeply. If you return, will you remain in your union? A flood of memories detailing abuse, apologies, failed attempts at reconciliation, and unfulfilled vows of change raced through her mind. Realizing her fruitless endeavors to alter her partner despite employing diverse methods like correspondence, therapy, seeking guidance, and asserting herself, she acknowledged that change needed to emanate from within. Contemplating, she resolved to summon the strength to depart her marriage if granted another chance at life. Upon reference to him, the physician executed a subsequent precordial thump, reigniting her heart's rhythm. Consciousness returned, finding herself back within her corporeal form, her countenance adorned with an oxygen mask. The room hummed with astonishment, prompting her inquiry. What just transpired? The nurse cautioned against speech, stressing the necessity for stabilization. Over the ensuing 20 minutes, the medical cadre toiled diligently towards that goal. The removal of the oxygen mask left her inquisitive, seeking clarity from the medical team with a persistent query. What just happened? I was up on the ceiling, witnessing everything. Positioned beside her table, the neurosurgeon's disbelieving response of, "Oh, brother," triggered her to affirm the authenticity of her experience. She persisted, asserting, "I speak the truth." The lady on the phone summoned the defibrillator unit, another individual brought in the oxygen cart, and a man introduced the heart monitor. I observed my own flatline, and 2 men performed CPR, all while she wheeled in the oxygen cart. The routine of halting chest compressions every 2 minutes became the norm, while discussions about potential brain damage due to elapsed time prompted 2 chest compressions, reviving her consciousness. Startled by this abrupt turn of events, the neurosurgeon hastily exited the room with a clenched fist. Conversely, the orthopedic surgeon extended a comforting hand, showing genuine interest in her experience and seeking to understand. Relocated to her room for the impending surgery, her inquiries about the myogram events persisted,
but all who entered professed ignorance, citing a lack of pertinence professed ignorance, citing a lack of pertinent information in their charts. The next day, she underwent a laminectomy-discectomy on her L5-S1 vertebrae. Post-surgery in the recovery area, the doctors approached her again. Attempts to revisit her myogram experience were deflected by the neurosurgeon, who focused solely on discussing the surgical procedure. Throughout the 4 days in the hospital, her inquiries about her near-death experience met silence. It was only later that she learned it was categorized as such, a term previously unfamiliar, as she hadn't explored meditation or such matters. Upon her husband's visit post-surgery, she confided in him about the occurrence, only to have it dismissed as a hallucination. This dismissal proved hard to accept. She had lived a life untouched by drugs or alcohol, and hallucinations were foreign to her. Despite her reservations, she kept her feelings to herself, uncertain of who would believe her, holding tight to the experience vividly etched in her memory. For 12 years, she harbored this life-changing experience in silence. Eventually freeing herself from a stifling marriage, it wasn't swift due to concerns about her husband's life insurance and her safety. When her husband travelled to Canada, she seized the opportunity, obtaining a restraining order and alerting authorities about her precarious situation. This empowered her to secure a divorce and begin anew. The reflection encapsulates a pivotal moment, a near brush with mortality that metamorphosed into an unexpected catalyst for change and growth. It's a tale woven with the intricacies of life's twists and turns, where fate seemed to orchestrate an intricate dance. Recalling her encounter with mortality, it emerges as a fulcrum, endowing her with an elusive strength to navigate away from peril and chart a renewed path forward. In its aftermath, she embraced a phase devoted to familial responsibilities and professional pursuits, hesitating to invite new connections into her world. To aid in this discernment, she initiated a modest ritual, scribbling in a modest journal, chronicling the virtues she aspired to find in potential companions. Nightly, she'd recite these traits, entrusting an unseen force, whispering, "I may not know this soul, but I trust in your knowing divine." Then came a day spun with the innocence of teenage intentions, as her son, barely into adolescence, introduced a neighbourly girl into their midst. A seemingly innocuous plan to venture to the movies veered unexpectedly. Roles reversed, she found herself at the girl's doorstep, encountering an unexpected gentleman. What ensued was a delightful yet embarrassing revelation that their children, the architects behind this elaborate ploy, aimed to orchestrate their serendipitous union. Their joint excursion to the cinema unfolded into shared meals and moments, their individual broods intermingling effortlessly. With 2 children each, opportunities for shared familial joys became their common ground. 4 months in, she found herself silently dissecting his character, an unintended courtship leading to marriage a mere 6 months after their chance encounter. In the ensuing 3 decades, he remained an unaltered embodiment of the qualities she had penned. The brush with mortality unfurled unforeseen vistas of insight, shifting her outlook on the enigma of life and the tenuous veil between consciousness and demise. Unbeknownst to her, this profound episode of transformation remained shrouded until an inadvertent conversation between her adolescent daughter and a hospital confidant in Santa Barbara. The term near-death experience surfaced, an exploration catalyzed by an inquisitive nurse's suggestion to delve deeper. Days of immersion in others' testimonies validated the tangibility of her own profound journey. A life unfolding as a tacit guidebook, navigating personal evolution unshackled from external judgments or skepticism, unfolded. It morphed into a daily anecdote, an altruistic endeavour to disseminate the wisdom garnered, extending a hand to as many souls as possible.
Her deepest aspiration resonates, immersing lives with positivity, birthing legacies woven with kindness and impact. The ripple effect of altruism, from shared smiles to earnest volunteerism, emerges as the harbinger of transformative change. Every sunrise heralds her quest to be a conduit of positivity, touching myriad lives along the way. Encountering the brink of mortality bestowed upon her the most invaluable of treasures. The brush with that fragile line between existence and the void imparted profound lessons about mortality, heightened consciousness, and the quintessence of life itself. Her fervent wish is for humanity to embrace this singular gift, the emancipation from the shackles of fear that enwrap death. Furthermore, she advocates for the comprehension that even in the aftermath of the departure of beloved souls, an ethereal connection persists, a conduit to perpetuate the remembrance, to embrace their essence, and to bask in their enduring presence through the echo of a heartfelt whisper, "I love you." The cognizance that consciousness transcends the veil of mortality holds paramount significance. It stands as an emblematic reminder of the sanctity of our inner selves, a testament to how every facet of experience contributes to our metamorphosis. Her unwavering conviction lies in the premise that each being consciously elects to embark upon this mortal realm, embracing an array of trials to foster their evolution and sculpt their very being. As life's curtain descends, introspection upon these encounters becomes a compass for the ascension of our inner selves, equipping us to confront uncharted tribulations. This, she perceives, forms the collective raison d'etre, a shared odyssey where individuals strive to transcend the confines of human limitations and metamorphose into something exquisitely profound. Gratitude extends to all who have accompanied this journey. Should this narrative have resonated with you and ignited a longing for further tales akin to these, do consider subscribing and activating notifications. By doing so, you shall remain abreast of forthcoming odysseys and profound insights that await.